Hi, everybody. Since everyone's stuck inside, I thought I'd do a story time. Tonight's story time, Final Fantasy VIII Official Strategy Guide by David Cassady. Part 1, Basics of Exploration. A large part of any Final Fantasy game is exploring towns, dungeons, mountains, and any other important place or objects people might be hiding. Why is this so important? Because talking to people will help you better understand the events going on around you. As rich as the storyline is, speaking with the people or a village under attack by a horde of misguided soldiers will help you to better understand the who, what, why, and where of it all. It's one thing to know that a giant machine is damaging some buildings, but think about how much more moving the plot becomes when you find out that the impact the destruction has on the townspeople. That's a good point. Besides just building the plot and enhancing characters, talking also helps guide you through the game. Sometimes you will get stuck out in the open without any real guidance, but speaking with just a few people may help you realize what your next move should be. People you meet will sometimes try to assist you by giving you items or leading you into hidden objectives off the main plot. Usually, such items and subquests offer characters huge advantages over those who choose not to partake in them or completely overlook them. No matter how you look at it, exploration is a vital part of Final Fantasy VIII, and you should never be afraid to go looking for alternatives to what you're being told. Here are some basic things you should keep in mind while exploring. Use save points often inside dungeons and cities. When on the world map, make sure you save before entering any new location. That will save you a lot of frustration in the long run. Talk to everyone. And then talk to them again. Most people will have more than one thing to say. Never assume that someone has told you everything they have to tell. You should periodically return and speak with various people and see their reactions have changed. Keep a close eye on your character's stats. You never know when they might run into a nasty creature. Always try to keep everything reasonably healthy and keep a good supply of items that remove the abnormal status effects just in case you need them. Considering multiple save games, there may be a time when you want to return to a part of game and get something that you missed or to relive a particularly cool scene. You may even want to try a different approach to a boss fight or something similar. Use an entire memory card just for Final Fantasy VIII if you can swing it. The enemies of Final Fantasy VIII level up as your characters level up. If you spend a lot of time fighting in one area, you'll notice your enemies are growing stronger and learning new tricks and spells. Some save points are considered hidden, meaning they're invisible. You can see these save points by junctioning an active character with the Move Find ability. More on that later, I guess. We'll see. Moving your character. The aspect of the game works a bit differently than past Final Fantasy games. Characters still gain experience by defeating enemies and then level up when they reach a predetermined amount of accumulated experience points. However, now it is required to go up to level 100 experience points, regardless of the level you're trying to achieve. That's a big change. The flip side is your character's stats increase less from level to level than they have in past Final Fantasy games. This being the case, you'll have to rely on junctioning with Guardian Forces, GFs, which is discussed later on in this book. By junctioning, you can quickly raise a character's stats, but what you raise and by how much is determined largely by the GFs you have and the magic you've stocked. This also means you've decided which stats and characters you want to give priority to, and which ones you'll choose to ignore. Overall, this enables you to be a great deal of customization, but getting your characters where you want them to be is time-consuming and requires a great deal of patience. One aspect of character improvement you may have a large amount controlling over is remodeling of weapons. Remodeling requires you to stock specific items in certain amounts. It requires the assistance of a junk shop, or the junk shop. It's in bold. Ability. Remodeling isn't expensive, but it can be difficult to find the items you need to remodel your weapons. One of the best ways to find these items is to collect cards, which you can do by playing Triple Triad with various people in the game. After collecting some cards, you can use the card mod ability to transfer in the cards into necessary items. However, some items you'll have to find, steal, or get by defeating enemies. Refer to each individual character section for more information on upgrading that character's weapons. Things to keep in mind while improving your characters. There are items and abilities that increase in characters' stats over time or immediately. Up items, such as Stir Up or Spur Up, can raise the specific stat by 1 point. Characters' conjunction bonus abilities, i.e. hit points, mag bonus, those a particular stat each time the junction character goes up a level. You can even use the Devour ability to slowly raise some stats by eating just the right enemies. As the spells you collect improve, you should take a moment and examine each character's stats to ensure your party is optimally junctioned. If you don't want to waste time, you can have the game do this for you automatically by selecting the auto function. Characters who don't take part in battles don't receive experience points. You should avoid letting single characters get too far behind anyone else. Although Weapons monthly magazines will tell you about new weapons, you don't have to have them remodel any particular weapon. All you need is particular items in your inventory, and optional to remodel will appear whether or not you've seen the weapon in a magazine. So technically, you can get the best weapon in the game as early as Disc 2, as long as you know what items you're looking for and where to find them. Thankfully, this book, Final Fantasy VIII, which I know is backwards, the Official Strategy Guide by David Cassady, will help you. Now, I'm on page 1, well, basically halfway through page 2 of 270 pages. So this is going to be a multi-part series. So tune in more later for more of Story Time with Ellen, where we'll read Final Fantasy VIII Official Strategy Guide by David Cassady. Thanks. Have a great night.